Everyone wants to live in a peaceful neighborhood, and though you might get your dream neighborhood, you might not get your dream neighbor. So, what happens when you and your neighbors don't get along? What will you do if your neighbor is clearly in the wrong? In this video, we'll take a look at how some people handled what we can call their worst nightmare of a neighbor. Number 1. The Panettas lived in Lake Forest, Illinois, in a peaceful neighborhood with an upbeat community that made for a great place to live. And this was the case for them until Suzanne Kraft moved in. Kraft lived just 2 doors away from the Panettas, and she was accused of spray painting racial slurs on her neighbor's driveway. In one incident, she was captured on the Panetta family security camera spray painting the driveway. She was then charged with harassment and criminal mischief. On July 16th, the court issued Kraft a no-contact order, but on July 27th, the Panettas once again caught Kraft on their security cameras as she crept into their yard to pour a chemical in the yard, but it was until the next day before they noticed it. The case got to court again, and the Panettas were ready to testify, but Kraft's lawyer was unavailable because the lawyer was being tested for coronavirus. As a result, the hearing had to be postponed. Aside from spray painting their driveway or pouring chemicals, the Panettas state that they also noticed shards of glass thrown into their yard. Luckily, they captured the moment on their phones. The family also claimed they found hot dogs with glass in them near their playground. All these events have left the family feeling unsafe, especially since Kraft is still 2 doors away. Number 2. This male Karen or Ken is actually a very rich individual, but he built a 10,000 square foot man cave in his backyard without any planning permission. As such, he was mandated by the court to tear it down, and instead of doing it peacefully or responsibly, he resorts to throwing items to damage other people's property. Clearly frustrated, he was caught on camera throwing his property into his neighbor's property. Number 3. Who says all old ladies are warm and sweet? Well, this couple put up a cat fence to keep their cat out of their neighbor's yard. You'll think the neighbor will appreciate the effort, but this elderly woman didn't like the cat fence because of its ugly appearance, so she decided to decorate the cat fence with garbage bags. The couple removed the garbage bags, but the angry neighbor still wasn't satisfied. So she took her destruction spree to another level. This time, she decided to destroy the cat fence herself. Number 4. This Karen thinks her neighbor broke her window, and she decides to have a word with them about it, but the conversation is nothing close to civilized. The conversation starts with her accusing the neighbors of being terrorists, and the rest of the conversation, well, see for yourself.
I feel like I live across the street from terrorists.
You know this is not my house.
It is not! So you shut
I've got my own apartment. I've got my own car.
Really?
Get the off my property!
And that is your fault.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Bullshit. You know nothing.
You're responsible for him! You idiot!
Number 5. This next neighbor is well informed about where his land boundary is and is not afraid to clearly demarcate his territory. He's super confident that he's in the right as he threatens his neighbor, who gets the whole drama on his phone. Interestingly, a court date has been set to settle this matter. Number 6. This Greenwood County couple are suffering from sun blockage. No thanks to a horrible 15-foot fence that their neighbor had installed. Earnhardt, the man whose house has been blocked by the 15-foot fence, is complaining that his house no longer has an ambience and his sunroom is now useless. But this was probably a result of him and other neighbors complaining about the neighbor's dogs and even calling animal control. Number 7. Karens are entitled. It's part of the package, but this entitled Karen takes it to a whole new level. This neighbor had been enjoying free Wi-Fi from her neighbor for months until the neighbors decided to change the password. She then threatens to arrest the neighbor because it's illegal. When that strategy doesn't work, she resorts to threatening to kill the dog. Number 8. This neighbor's issue is probably one of the pettiest property line disputes we'll come across today. Both neighbors share a property that splits the pool in two thanks to a fence. With an interesting history, both properties were owned by the same person with a house on each lot. He then sold the two properties to the new owner, who cleared both lots to build one big house. But the house went into foreclosure, and when it was sold to two different people. And so, one property has a house on it while the other doesn't. But the one without a house has marked his territory by placing a fence to separate the two houses. However, his fence is right over his neighbor's pool. What's going to happen now? The dispute is such a mess that no realtor even wants to touch it with a 6-foot pole. Realtor Lisa Sconiers, who also lives in the neighborhood, states that all this drama could have been avoided if only the new owners were made to replot the property into two separate properties. And now the owner of the empty property is petitioning his neighbors to back up the property because the lot is not big enough to build a house. But even the neighbors don't really want to be involved since even the dividing pool issue had not been resolved. Let us know what you think about these neighbors from hell and how you would have handled the scenarios if you were in their shoes. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and press the notification bell so you never miss an upload.